Hello, my name is Madhuparna Vishwas. I am biology faculty in motion education. Today we are going to talk about the endocrine gland. That is one of the topic from your class 11th, and in your NEET there are 2 to 3 questions that are going to be from endocrine glands. So first question comes that what is actually endocrine gland? So endocrine gland is actually a group of glands which can secrete enzymes. Okay, so these are the glands which secrete enzymes, and you know that the enzymes that are being secreted in our body are known as your hormones. Okay. One speciality about endocrine gland is that they contain ducts. So the endocrine gland possesses the ducts, and through the ducts only the enzymes or hormones are being secreted. So what are the glands which do not have ducts? So what are that particular glands are being known as that glands who doesn't contain ducts are known as ductless glands. So today we are just going to focus on the duct glands, that is the endocrine gland, and in endocrine glands the glands that are present like pancreas, ovary, testes, then thyroid, etc. So we are only going to talk about this particular glands, and the major thing which we are going to talk about is the secretion of this hormone and how they are important and that lead to certain disorders. So first thing we are going to talk is that the endocrine glands are being secreted in 2 major ways, that is your hyposecretion or hypersecretion of endocrine glands. So in hyposecretion, from the word itself you can understand hypo means less, right? So here in the hyposecretion of the endocrine gland, what we can see that a less amount of the hormones are being secreted from this particular secretion, and that lead to certain disorder or deficiency in the human body. While here in the hypersecretion, what we can see, there is an excess of secretion of that particular hormone or the enzymes, and that lead to particular disorders in the human body, right? So the hyposecretion, what are the different causes of hyposecretion? The first cause is cancer. So because of the formation of benign or malignant tumor above the cells which actually can secrete the particular hormones, so above that if the cancer cells are being developed, so what it will do, it will inhibit the formation of the hormones inside the body, and hence that will lead to the hyposecretion of the endocrine gland. While in the hypersecretion, again same, the cause is same, but the working process is different. Here also cancer can lead to hypersecretion, but here what it will do, it will give a signal so that more production or excess production of the particular hormones are being done inside the human body. Okay, another cause is that the body is providing certain signals inside, and that will lead to less or no secretion at all inside the body, which will lead to lack of endocrine gland. Here also, because of certain signals inside the body, what happens, the cell produce excess amount of endocrine glands or the hormones or the enzymes, and that lead to hypersecretion of the endocrine gland. So next thing we are going to talk about the hypersecretion of the endocrine gland. And hypersecretion itself, the word suggests that there is an excess of the secretion of the particular hormones, and that lead to particular disorders. So what are the different diseases that are there because of the hypersecretion? So first thing we are going to talk about is the excess of growth hormones, and because of that there are 2 disorders that is present in a particular human being. If the excess of growth hormones takes place from childhood, that will lead to gigantism, which is a very rare disorder, and in this particular disorder what happens, the person have a bigger stature, body structure, and they are very taller to that in comparison to that of the normal human beings. And the other disorder is known as your Acromegaly. Okay, acromegaly, the important thing about acromegaly is that this particular disorder only happens in the middle-aged person, and the excess of growth hormones means the primary symptoms are invisible in that particular person, and only in the middle age we can see that particular symptoms, and later on it will lead to death. Okay, the next disease or disorder which we are going to talk about, the hypersecretion, is your thyroid. That is your hyperthyroid. So because of the hyperthyroid secretion or hypothyroid condition, what happens? It leads to the normal disease which you have heard about is your goiter. And why goiter? Already you know that goiter is a disorder which is due to the lack of iodine. So thyroid, if there is an excess of secretion of thyroid gland, that will lead to a particular disorder, that is your goiter. And the last disease for today we are going to talk about is in the hypersecretion is your type 2 diabetes, which in books you have heard about, that is your hyperglycemia also. The name of type 2 diabetes is your hyperglycemia also. So here what happens, the body cell starts to form excess amount of insulin, and also some body condition the body cells do not or not able to react towards the normal insulin condition. So what happens, the pancreas starts to form excess amount of insulin so that the body cell can react towards it, and that lead to the hypersecretion of insulin, and the disease is known as your hyperglycemia or the type 2 diabetes. Also another type of diabetes is known as your gestation diabetes. So gestation diabetes is a diabetes, till now we don't know what are the actual causes of gestation diabetes, but because of the gestation diabetes is only, name itself it suggests that it happens only to the pregnant women. So some doctors and scientists, they tell that gestation diabetes is a condition that takes place because of the hormone that are being formed during the pregnancy time, during the gestation period, and that lead to the particular hypersecretion of the insulin hormone. For today, thank you.